Okay, so the first question that we have, I think these questions were discussed in the previous video as well, but many people wanted more clarity on this thing. So I would ask that what has Megha ma'am done, DGCA or EASA?
Okay, it is. By the way, I have done DGCA and EASA both.
Oh, great.
Okay, and DGCA is, I told you in the last interview that DGCA is Indian recognition for AMA course.
Yes.
Okay, and EASA is European recognition.
Right.
So somehow I have done both.
So you have done both.
And I have done one more thing because since I'm into a Gulf country, so I have done GCAA also.
While giving these exams, like when you gave them, were the topics similar, or like did you need to prepare?
Okay, I have to tell you. The most difficult is DGCA because Indian, as we have studied in Indian curriculum, is the most difficult curriculum. The same as the DGCA Director General, that is the most difficult part. So since actually EASA has a recognition all over the world, and DGCA is little limited. Now, DGCA is also being recognized by other parts of the world. Like suppose in Gulf, you come, and if you have a basic license of DGCA, then you just have to appear for 2 modules.
Okay.
Now, it is a latest thing I'm talking about, just module 9 and module 10, 2 more exams you have to give, and then your DGCA license will be converted into GCAA, Gulf Civil Aviation Authority license. Okay. Same, but this is not the case with EASA yet. Okay. Even if you have DGCA license, even you have gone through all the papers of DGCA, you have to go through all the papers in EASA.
Yes.
Okay, EASA does not recognize so far DGCA papers or experience much. When I came to Gulf, this was not the rule. So I appeared all the modules of GCA to get the GCA license. So I have DGCA license, GCA license, and now EASA licenses.
Okay, so one question that appears from these, DGCA, EASA is the course different? Is DGCA, EASA?
Course is not different. No, not at all. Especially the GCA and the EASA is absolutely same. Like suppose if you have to go through being a B1 or B2, I'm talking about B1 is the mechanical and B2 is avionics.
Yes.
So for B1 and B2, first 10 modules are same. 1 to 10 modules are same. In some modules, the level of module is different.
Okay.
Okay. And after 10 modules, B2 has to appear for module 13 and 14. Mm-hmm. B1 has to appear for module 11, 15, 17, like as per like rating, helicopter, hai to helicopter, or if it is light aircraft or heavy aircraft, so as per that. So this is divided into 2 parts, B1, B2, but first 10 modules are common for B1 and B2. The level of paper differs. Level means, hope you understand.
Right.
Some module has a level 1, level 2, level 3, So if it is purely electronics based, it comes to the avionics section. If it is more of hardware, and that comes in mechanical for B1 people. So when it is module 3, 4, 5, which is electricals, electronics, and digitals, that comes for avionics people. So they have to give a higher level of that exam.
Okay.
And B1 people have to give a lower level of that exam. Okay. But they all have to go through this. So for EASA and GCA, it is all absolutely syllabus. Everything is same.
So if a person gives his DGCA, like he does good in DGCA, he can like do well in EASA and.
Now DGCA is also conducting from past maybe I think 6 years now, 5 to 6 years now. They have also started conducting module exams, which is world recognized like this. So they also go through the same syllabus, same modules, but I personally don't know the level of exam because I was already out of that. So I can't suggest. But yes, I can only talk about the level of exam of GCA and EASA because from past almost 10 years I'm here and I'm going through it. So I know. But since past 6-7 years only, DGCA, Indian government has followed this module system. So to what level of exam they are conducting, that I'm not much aware of, but the syllabus is same for them also. So subjects are same, syllabus is same.
Okay. So is there any exam which is like universally recognized everywhere?
Worldwide recognized?
Yes.
You mean? See, every country came up with their own aviation rules and regulation. So for worldwide, see, FAA is the American.
Yeah.
Federal Aviation. So they also have, I'm not sure, they also have the module system. They don't have module system. They have their own criteria and they don't give value to EASA or DGCA or GCA or any other country's aviation. So it is like if even if I'll after so many years of experience, after so many licenses, even if I'll go to America and want to work, first I have to get that ANP license of, which is by far. No exceptions, that even if you have experience, even if you have cleared all other exams, you can, you cannot give this or module that module. Like I told you, like DGCA, if you have given all the modules, you just have to give 2 more modules to get GCA license, or 2 more, or same as with the EASA, but not with FAA. You have to go through their level of examination. Subjects are same.
Right.
Curriculum is same, but you have to go through the exams.
Okay. So one thing like regarding DGCA and EASA and GCA, what would you recommend anyone to do? Like, is EASA better as it will give you the edge to go to Gulf as well?
Yes. Right. Yes. I'll give you an option of a Maruti Alto and a Mercedes.
Oh,
what will you opt?
Is that kind of a difference?